Hello and welcome to the Shooting Outdoors channel, proudly supported by FMJ Gun Shop, Dunchurch. This is the HW110. It was released in the early 2000s and you bought one knowing that you were buying into one of the best selling PCPs month on month. But there has been another at the same time, and it's this, the ARAMS S410. It's around £150 cheaper, it's less complex but just as effective. And the data I'm basing all this on, it's from a magazine that asks 100 shops to list the last 5 rifles they sold each month. From this, they publish a leaderboard. This leaderboard gives us a good idea of what people are spending their money on, but to us at the Shooting Outdoors channel, it's a bit more complex than that. It's an idea of how the markets are performing. So, for example, the £700 to £900 market. Well, that's been dominated by the HW100 for the last God knows how long, with the BSAR-10 nipping away at its heels. The £500 to £700 market has been largely dominated by the ARAMS S410, but uncontested. This is the new Weihrauch HW110, costing around £650 with a Weihrauch silencer, essentially making it a £600 PCP in the £500 to £700 price bracket. This rifle could then change the view we see in the last 5 sold, particularly in the mid-range PCP bracket as supply meets demand throughout 2017.
So, do you get a lot of value for your money? Well, you get a 10-shot, side lever actioned PCP air rifle developed between Weihrauch GmbH and Hull Cartridge jointly. It comes with a beach stock that's got an anti-scratch matte black rubberized coating, 2 10-shot magazines, one of the best air rifle moderators on the market, a filling adapter and a manual. So yeah, you do get a lot of value for your money.
Using beech for the stock keeps the rifle very light at 7 pounds unscoped and cost effective. The soft touch rubber coating is just that, and it complements the stippling well. The coating and chunky stock feel great in your hands, and it's super grippy in bad weather. This method of finishing stocks is fast becoming the way forward for airgun hunters, and a cheap way for manufacturers to freshen up a rifle's look cost effectively. Personally, we think digital camo wraps would look awesome. A revolutionary feature from Weihrauch is the breech and action housing. It's been made from a ballistic polymer kept under wraps by Weihrauch. Now, before you turn your nose up at it and accuse it of being a cheap alternative to the mainstream materials, give it a chance. Ballistic polymer has been used in the design of assault rifles for decades, and after a few months of using it, the 110 feels just as sturdy as any metal setup. Let's be honest, if polymers are used in battlefields and across the world, it should do fine in a sub 12 foot-pound air rifle. It does mean though that the use of Picatinny rails has been employed to mount optics to. This may well be due to issues forming good old dovetails with polymers cost effectively, or long-term quality. If we ever have a chat with Weihrauch, it's going to be one of the first questions we ask.
The 2-stage adjustable trigger feels solid right through the pull. In fact, Glen's opinion is it's light with a crisp hammer release, which is what he likes. Some may feel it too light though, like it did for me initially coming from my Raider, but as it's fully adjustable there are no worries there, adding or taking away some weight as you feel. However, Weihrauch state in the manual to not play with it. You've been warned, myself, I left it well alone. With the supplied moderator fitted, which just happens to be one of the best you can buy, the rifle's length comes in at 38.5 inches with a barrel length of 16 inches. Being a Weihrauch barrel, it's choked, meaning it's likely to be an accurate and consistent setup and makes use for the industry standard 1/2 inch UNF thread for the moderator.
There is one chink in the 110's armour though, the ambidextrous safety. It takes a good amount of effort to set and release it, and makes rather a loud noise when you do. Not ideal for quiet stalking conditions, however at least you know you've set or reset it. And with your fingers away from the trigger. Unless you have larger hands, then you can stretch a finger to go live, but it's still hard to do as it's more of an up-downward motion, and that's not particularly ergonomic. Also in this area is the loading mechanism. To load, just pull the side lever back, lift the magazine release lever and insert the magazine from either side. Index the magazine left or right until it catches the bearing and then close the bolt. You need to set the safety manually, just like most of the PCPs on the market.
One reservation was the polymer side lever. How robust is this long term, and will it break? Glen's comments were that it doesn't matter, as it will only break if you drop it or misuse it, and that would be the same outcome if it was a cast alloy. The magazine carries 10 shots, a number we like for morning or evening hunts, only you get 2 of them, so no need to carry that pellet around with you. The magazine itself is a big exposed skeletal type design. The indexing ratchet runs around the circumference, and as a result it can be awkward to handle during bombing. Personally, I found these features improve grip during winter when your fingers aren't as dexterous, but like anything, ideal or not so ideal, you'll find your own knack of dealing with it. Retainer design is the age-old neoprene O-ring, which is the industry standard.
Inside the stock, the polymer housing is laid fully bare and extends along the air cylinder via a metallic plate to the barrel support, which is also made of polymer. This system acts as a brace for the barrel and the air cylinder itself, separating it from other PCPs which only brace the barrel from the air cylinder. The brace is fixed to the stock with one of the stock screws.
We're not big fans of the big green sticker on the cylinder, or the position of the clearly marked and colour-coded manometer, but we are fans of the whole cartridge logo. This means we have a genuine UK spec HW110 and not a grey import. It's long been practice for gun shops to buy from outside the EU and tinker with the internals to get them closer to the 12 foot-pound limit. But all genuine UK spec Weihrauchs will have hull cartridge etched or stamped on it somewhere visible, such as the barrel or action. Always check for this. Finally is the filling port, which is located just behind the manometer and is a push-fit design.
In 177 we're getting around 100 to 120 shots from a 200 bar fill, which is very impressive. Over 32 shots using 10.65 grain Bisley Magnums, we get a mean of 11.4 foot-pound and 638 feet per second. Accuracy? Well, was there going to be any question? Well, yeah, if you go with Weihrauch Diablo fields, as it turns out. They group well, but never accurately. They are the competitors' pellets though, and when we used Falcon Accuracy Plus, the accuracy and consistency was where we expected it to be. Bang on. As always though, when Tom thinks, things go awry, and he shoots a great 7mm group with Falcon Accuracy Plus at 30 yards. He then goes and puts 10 more in the same group at 40 yards. But still, it results with them 20 shots in a 3/4 inch group, which is not to be sniffed at, is it? Clearly then, this is not going to give anything away to competitors in this department at any range.
We feel this is one of the most important rifles to hit the shelves in recent years. To us, it's a hard rifle to beat in its price bracket, and as an overall package, it's damn near perfect.
It should provoke a response from other manufacturers as well, because it means that Weihrauch have the opportunity now to dominate 2 airgun markets, meaning that if you were going to buy an air rifle between £500 and £900, chances are it'll be a Weihrauch. We'll be back with the Weihrauch 110 with a long-term review in a few months' time, which we've got something special planned for, don't we?
Yes, we do. So don't forget to follow us on Facebook, click the subscribe button and turn notifications on, follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe and shoot straight.
Thanks for watching, goodbye.